Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen Kong, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to my Crafting to Go series for the month of February. This is card number 4 that we're making, and I'm finally making the whole shelf this time. I had avoided doing too many with a lot of die cuts, but this week is all out. So we are making this card today, and I'm sticking with a actually not sticking with, but I am moving to a more feminine card color palette. So this week we are using some pinks in there, and it'll be more pretty for a girl kind of card, and gonna be some stamping. So just let me get my computer set up so I can see all our comments while we're crafting, your questions and all that. Please join in on the discussion. If you're joining me live, let me know where you're watching from if you've never joined in. Or even on the replay, please say hi. I'd love to see who's taking advantage of watching my crafting series. Okay, let me just get this up and running. All right, my computer is up and running. And oh, I knew I was forgetting something. I felt all ready today, and I was thinking, I feel like I'm missing something. And yep, I didn't do a I didn't make a list of all my measurements ahead of time. I forgot. But I do provide all that in my video description after the live is done. So don't worry about writing everything down. I will provide that later. And if you're taking advantage of my Crafting to Go kits, you will get everything pre-cut. So if you don't know what my Crafting to Go series is about, every month this year, I think I'm going to stick with this format for this year. Basically, every month I'm going to stick with one bundle, and I'm going to create 4 cards for that month. And if you purchase from me or place an order within the qualifying period, you can get the kit for all the cards at the end of the month sent to you, and you can make the cards yourself using my videos. Come back and watch them on Facebook and on YouTube, and make them from the comfort of your own home. For those of you who are in the Ottawa area and qualified to join me in person, you can come join me in person and we can craft together. So that's what I'm doing for the next few months. I have my next 2 months set up for March and June. March and May. And I'm skipping April because that is right in the thick of dance competition season, and things will be too busy. So we're doing March and May. March will be the Rolling Waves bundle, and May will be the Cutest Crew. So they are going to be really fun to make. I'm looking forward to playing with them when I get them, when I receive my Stampin' Up! Delivery. I don't know when that's coming. It was a really busy week with free shipping last week, and things have not been sent out yet. Good morning, Sandra. Thanks for joining. Okay, so my my desktop is set up. I'm going to move my camera, so just close your eyes while I remount my phone, and we'll get started on looking at the card. Okay, so this card has a palette of Sweet Sorbet and Petal Pink and Pear Pizzaa, and it's a retired color, but it looks beautiful with this combination. And this brown back here is actually soft suede, another retired color. And yeah, I just really like this combination. It's not overly feminine, but it's nice and pretty. Okay, so let's start off with some stamping. Let's make some room. Good morning, Shali. Thanks for joining. You know, I usually try to take some allergy medication the days that I do lives, because I'm usually sneezing. Like I sneeze throughout the winter. I have allergies to mold and dust. And this morning I thought, oh, I feel fine. I haven't been sneezing. And of course, once I start the live, I feel like sneezing. Oh, pardon me. I'm gonna have to just dab my nose. Murphy's Law. Okay, so this is a card kit of all the pieces, and you're going to need the stamp set to complete them. Those of you who are joining me in class will use my stamp set, or you can use the stamp set that you purchased, or you can fill it in with whatever you have in your stash that works for you. And if I am sending them in the mail, we'll see. I've been debating about whether or not to send cut pieces, die cut pieces, because not everybody wants to stamp the die cut pieces, but it is done. Lots of people do that. It's, I guess it boils down to personal preference. But here we go. I'm going to stamp and then I will die cut. That's my own preference, so that's what I'm going to do for the live. And let me just find the stamps that we need. Okay, so there's a few things here that are stamped. We have, of course, the sentiment, and then we have the greenery that is all stamped. These are all stamped in Pear Pizzaa, so let's start with those. I already have this piece mounted, and let's find the other stamps. Okay, here's the leaves. We'll put that down, and these ones. Okay, let me get some blocks. And we'll pick those up. And another one here. Okay, this is my Pear Pizzaas. Now, just be careful to remember that you're going to need to stamp in a spot that's going to leave you some extra room underneath, because if you look at the dies, like this one is the die for these leaves, and it has like a little bottom section here. That section here is used to glue it to the vase or the pot. Okay, so I did stamp a few things like the first time, and I stamped them all too close together, and it turns out I couldn't cut them out because they were going to be cutting out this this little attachment section, so just be careful. Okay, so I'm going to stamp like this. I'm going to leave room at the bottom for white space for the die. Okay, so let's do this. All right, and we'll do the next set of greenery. And then these little leaves here. I think that's it. Okay, so the other ones, let's close the Pear Pizzaas up and we'll move on to Sweet Sorbet. Okay, so for the Sweet Sorbet, some of them will be full strength and some of them will be stamped off. I need to get a piece of scrap. Okay, so your Sweet Sorbet will be used for the pot. Oh no, sorry, that's Petal Pink. My bad. No, I'm wrong. That is the full strength Sweet Sorbet. Okay, here we go. So we'll do one in full strength. Okay, so if you haven't used the stamping off technique, it's basically giving you a different shade of the same color, but you're going to stamp off first. Oh, that turned out much darker than I thought. I wonder if it's because maybe I didn't clean this properly. I'm going to try it again. I thought it was already clean, but perhaps I used it for something else. I don't remember. But, okay, so we cleaned it off. Let's try that again. Maybe it was stamped off. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm going to stamp like this. Oh, that's lighter already. Okay, maybe it wasn't cleaned off. Let's try full strength over here. Somehow I got too close. This is reality crafting. Okay, I stamped too close to the edge, not enough white space. Oh yeah, Sandra, you've done it too, eh? You found that you stamped too close together. Yeah, I think that must have been dirty or something. This looks lighter. Anyways, okay, we'll go with one of those. That's totally fine. And then let me find the oh, here. Okay, so I'm looking for these flowers here. And I'm gonna have to clean off one of my stamps here so I can take it off the block. And we will pick this one up. This one is definitely stamped off because I wanted a softer shade of Sweet Sorbet. I'm just double checking on the side here to see if my dies for the florals need to be need to leave some room, and now I can't spot it. That's strange. Oh yes, there is. I need an extra bit of room for attaching it. Okay, so let's stamp this one off. I'm going to turn it sideways so a little bit. No, you know what? I'm going to need to do it this way. Okay, so if you've never done stamping off, you can see that this is the full strength and that is slightly lighter, right? Okay, Petal Pink is my next one. Wow, I thought I had lots of room on this piece of paper, but apparently I don't. Let me get another one. Okay, here's my Petal Pink. And I'll get another piece of paper. Let's see if this is big enough. Yeah, I just have the 2 pots. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to need my blocks. So let's clean off these stamps. And let me find the pots for this. Oh, here's the jug. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to clean this off. I think I cleaned it off, but just to be sure. I need, oh, it's this one. I already have it. Okay, so let's just clean it off. All right. So let's ink it up in the Petal Pink. Oh, I didn't know you had trouble with the stamping off. I noticed that mine is like slightly darker in this bottom section, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. You know what? Do you see how this is slightly blotchy? All right, so let me show you. So if you can see that, the color is not quite even. Okay, if you have ever run into this problem, and even this spot in the middle, that's because it didn't ink up properly. It's either because the stamp has not been seasoned, meaning that it still has, if it's brand new, it's going to have like a layer of leftover coating from the washing process at the end of the stamp creation, manufacturing. So you have to either rub that off, you know, just use your finger and rub it off. Or it's because the ink pad is very juicy. So I think it's my ink pad because this stamp has obviously been used before. So I'm just going to clean it off. And I'm going to take a straight edge. You can use whatever hard straight edge you have. So I have old credit cards that I have kept, and I just take it and I brush the ink. I push the ink off to one side, and that way you won't get excess ink on your stamp. Okay, let me give this a shot. Let's try this again. Okay, so this is lighter, but it's even. You can see that. This one seems darker, and I'm wondering if I stamped it twice, but I don't recall doing that. Okay, so let's leave that one, and I'm going to stamp the pot. See, the pot is lighter too. Here we go. I'm glad you like that tip, Shirley. I don't know if you I thought I'd mentioned it before, but sometimes we forget too. There we go. Oh, that looks good. I think it's probably, maybe it has a little bit of residue of sweet sorbet. Maybe that's why it's darker. Yeah, I'm going to try stamping that one again. I have a scrap over here. Let's try that one more time. I kind of want them to match. That seems too pink for me. I'm going to clean it off again, and sometimes when I clean it off and it's been wet, I like to just stamp it on scrap paper to make sure that the stamp surface is dry. Otherwise you'll get that blobbing effect because the water is adding too much moisture. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, I think that is better shade. A better shade of pink that matches. Okay, so let's bring in the cut. Oh no, you know what? I haven't stamped the sentiment. Let's do that too. Okay, that one is in Early Expresso. And I need to find the sentiment. Here it is. Okay. Let me just get a clear block. Oh, this is barely big enough. Let me try another one. Okay, that's better. All right, I always find that my Early Expresso always stamps nicely. There's a few colors that always stamp nicely. Okay, so because this is like a little bit covered underneath the top part of this cabinet, I'm going to stamp it just a little bit lower this time. There we go. Okay, I think that's all the stamping. We'll die cut and then we'll start assembly. Let's put this aside, make some room. Bring my emboss machine over. I'm thinking it might be time to change this cutting plate out. It's very well used. All right. Oops. You have lots of little pieces to die cut. Oh, I'm missing a plate. No, I'm not. Okay. I thought I was missing the white plate underneath. Let's get the dies. Sorry, I just dropped something and I didn't want to forget that it was on the floor, so... Alright, so I have mine on magnetic sheets. Let me just find all the pieces. Okay, those are not it. These are it. Okay, so I have these little flowers. Actually, the leaves. We have a pot. We have the jug. And these leaves. I probably won't do it all at once because sometimes the dies shift and it's just too hard to try and keep them all in the same spot. or the right spot when there's so many of them. Okay, I think that's it for now. Okay, let's die cut a few of these. So let me grab my metal tray there. It's my magnetic tray. And let's put this one over there. We'll do this one. And I'll do this one and this one. We'll see how well this, oh, of course this is mag, I can't even see the, see, nobody ever calls our house except when I'm on live. Can't even see the phone. I don't even know where it is. It's buried somewhere. Okay, let's just try lining this up. It's a little bit trickier because it's such a pale pink. Here we go. Okay, and this one. Yes, we still have a landline. Can you believe it? I think we kept the landline for the longest time because not all of our kids had cell phones, but now, I mean, my daughter has had a cell phone for this is her second year now, so I suppose we could probably get rid of it. I don't know. Okay, I think that's all lined up. Let's hopefully put this down without moving anything. We've had that number for, I think, over 20 years now. It would be so weird to get rid of it. Okay, let's run it through. Looks successful. Let's see. Okay. Let's put this off to the side. Oh, this didn't quite. Okay, so what I find sometimes, I usually make a habit of moving my die just a little bit closer to the rollers. So I should have moved it a little bit over, because what I find is sometimes when it pushes through, it pushes the die back, and then I end up with too much white space on the other side. I may do that one again. I'm not happy with that one. These ones were okay. See, this is reality crafting for you. Oh, this one turned out okay. Just the one. That's weird. Okay. And this. Okay, so this I need to die cut still. So what I mean is that, okay, so I'm going to position it here, but what I will do is I'm going to push the die slightly closer to the rollers. And I see there's a little bit of extra white space on the right side, but what happens is when it goes through, it sometimes pushes it over anyways. So let's see how that works. Okay, I don't need this one. I need this one. So again, just push it over. Do you see how there's a little bit of white space there and not so much on the left side, away from the rollers? That's what I usually do because I know that it's the machine is going to push it away. Okay. Oh, shoot. This one moved. Okay. If it moves again, I'm going to have to do it one at a time. I had so much success with the last one. Okay, let's try this. So these turned out great. See, they look very even on both sides. Those ones are right. And I also need one more die cut with the sweet sorbet. So let's do that, and then I'll stamp one more time. So again, I'm going to leave a little extra bit of white space on the right, closest to the rollers. Oops, it rotated, but it looks okay still. Okay. And I'm going to go back and restamp that plant because it didn't look so great after I die cut it. I need to find one more piece of scrap. Here we go. I'm just going to turn this way. And let's get a block. Oh, see, actually, you're in the minority. The rest of us still have landlines. All right. That looks good. Okay, let's hope the second time is a charm. So let's line this up a little bit to the right. Do you see that? You know what? Sandra's probably right. I don't think we get a lot of legit calls. I would say most of them are telemarketers. All right, let's roll this through. Okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, I like that one better. Okay, I think we are ready to assemble. This one should be easy after all the stamping and die cutting is done. Alright, so let's bring back all the pieces. So there's a white card base. It's your standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I just need my bone folder. Oh, I'm sure all our services are bundled, but and it's long overdue that we take a look at maybe other providers, but just hasn't made it onto our to-do list. I mean, it is on the to-do list, it's just so far down that I never get to it. Okay, so I give you a piece of embossed cardstock, which is Crumb Cake, and it's embossed with the, I think it's Forever Plaid, whatever the plaid folder is. So you can choose which side you want up, but I don't think it really matters. Either way looks good. And it's in the background, so you're not going to see it. It's not going to be like in your face. So okay. Sandra, maybe you should take a picture. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes when I'm like working with ideas and I'm kind of laying things out but not gluing them down, or thinking about where they're going to go, I take a picture of what I've laid out so that I can remember how I wanted to lay it out or glue it on, just to remind myself. Okay, I used a white card base, but you can use a crumb cake if you like, but I wanted white inside to this time, so that's why I went with white. Okay, so there's the background. Okay, and here's the back of my my shelf. Okay, my cabinet. It's been scored. I got this idea from I think it's Kim McGillis. She's another demonstrator, and she scored the piece of paper every 1/4 inch to give it a sort of a wainscoting. I think that's what you call it, wainscoting look. So I'm going to glue this on top right here. Okay. So I'm going to put a thin layer of glue all around on the edges, and it will sit just inside to be a background for this shelf. Okay, so you just need a thin layer of glue. I really like how it looks. It adds like a little bit of detail. It's not, it's very subtle. I'm just adding a touch of glue everywhere so that the shelving, quote unquote shelving, does not lift. Okay, I think I'm almost done. All right, I think that works. The white frame paper is actually from the Country Woods DSP. So I cut it from the piece that's looks like white and crumb cake mixed together. Okay. So now I'm going to put in all my pieces. So you'll see there's a bird cage at the bottom, and I put all my pieces inside of this little post-it note. And you'll be happy to know, ladies, that even though this piece does not have it, but I did think of it after I started die cutting these, to place this on an adhesive sheets. Remember those? I always forget I have them. Let me show you. Remember these adhesive sheets? Okay, so you put them on the back of your paper before you start die cutting, and it'll create a sticker for you. So when you come tomorrow to put the cards together, you will just have to peel and stick. I have to put some glue because I didn't do that. Yeah, so I did use the scoring tool to add the scoring for that paper. I actually found that I like it better when I use a thinner stylus. So the one that comes with it, the stylus ends on those, on the tool, I think they just give a wider score, and I wanted a skinnier score. So I believe the Take Your Pick tool has skinnier stylus ends that you can use that come with the tool, and I suggest that you use that. I have like a stylus tool from pre-Stampin' Up, and but I'm sure that the same skinnier end is available in the Take Your Pick tool. I was just too lazy to go look when I had that ready and available on hand, my other tool. Okay, so I'm just going to center this and glue it down. And I'm going to take the greenery and I'm only going to adhere the top. Okay, so you see how this is loose? It gives it a little bit more depth. And I'm just going to take my finger and just curve the paper a little bit so it's not so flat. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit of glue and glue those on. Sandra's asking if I've used my bone folder. The bone folder for scoring, you mean? I have not. And now that I found that my my skinnier stylus it works well, I probably will just stick with that. But I should experiment with different ends. Okay, so I'm only putting glue at the very top, okay? And I'll use my tweezers to hold on to this, and we'll just stick it on here. Okay. All right. The rest of these pieces are on dimensionals, but I'm going to assemble them before I put them on here. I have my plant inside of the jug. So here's where I need to put a little bit of glue. Oh yeah, Tara, I've done that too. Use the stylus end or the brush end without even attaching it, and just use it like that. Okay, so this, I'm going to slide the handle just slightly under that leaf. Okay. Okay, and then this is for these leaves. So let's put some glue here. Whoops, that's a lot. It's a brand new tube, so it comes out much faster. And here's the other pot. Just gotta find my, oh, my greenery is over here. Did I die cut 2 of these? I guess I did. All right. This one goes with this. And oh, I have a little pot, the die cut pot here for my last piece of greenery. Oops. All right. I think that looks good. Okay. So I think I'm actually going to attach this to the card base so that when I work with the dimensionals, I'm just going to, I don't have to flip it over with the dimensionals on it in order to attach this piece. You're going to need to attach it fairly close to the bottom because, as you can see, it fills the whole front of the card. Okay. So for those of you who are watching me and are beginner crafters, I like to leave space along the edge between the glue and the edge of the piece of paper that I'm gluing, just so that when the glue squishes out and spreads out, it doesn't come out the sides, right? And then when I'm putting it down, I hold it at a 45-degree angle to the paper so that I can line things up before I actually lay it down. And it's less crucial when you're using glue because you have a little bit of time afterwards to move it around. But when you're using stamp and seal or a tear and tape, once it sticks, you're kind of committed. So I try to line it up before that happens. Okay, so this, I'm going to put this way up, and I've seen people, you know, go either way. But actually, before I do that, I just remembered I need to put my sentiment on first because it goes underneath. Okay, so let's just check that my sentiment was stamped properly. It's going to fit right in here. Okay, so it's going to go like this. And that looks like it's going to be enough space, so that looks good. All right. So this one's going to be flat. I did not put this one up on dimensionals. It's just going to be flat. So use some glue. And the good thing about doing it this way is that if the stamping goes wrong for whatever reason, you can just die cut another piece of white and stamp it again before you put it into your card. All right. So the rest of these, I believe, are all on a dimensional. So let's get the dimensionals out. So down here, I've got a pot that I've pre-assembled. So this is Sweet Sorbet on the top and Petal Pink on the bottom. And it's just going to go right in the middle here. Okay, and then we'll put the pot here. Oh, you know what? There is a piece here that I've also included in the kit. So when I die cut these, I kept all the pieces that were die cut from here. So it should match up to the wood grain that's already in the frame. And I could actually put like a little handle on it, but I didn't think of that when I was first making the card. So there's no handle on this one. Okay, so let's put the dimensionals on this. Just going to use, yeah, I did put a dimensional back here. Just put the little one over here. And this one's going to take up a little bit more space. So it's going to cover part of the one on top. Shelley, I knew you were going to ask me for a handle. I may actually die cut that afterwards and add that on. I think it would be cute. Okay. I'll put one up here. Go. It's fun putting all the little pieces in once you've got everything ready to go. Okay, so there are some books in this bookshelf. So the white ones will go here. And that just leaves enough room for my plant. Oh, that's a bit, I can fit it up here. I'll put a small one at the bottom. So this was a pretty easy card. It's just all the die cutting and the stamping that needs to go on beforehand. Before you can assemble, and the assembly part, I guess, is the fun part, right? I'm going to put Sweet Sorbet on the bottom. Let's see. I think I'll use 2 small ones so I can prop up both sides. Okay. And then Petal Pink on the top. Oops. Oh, I left the dimensional behind. I just took the top, the backing piece. There we go. I'm going to put that right on top of my other books. All right, and I think the last thing to go on is my, I don't know what this piece is called. Does anybody know what this piece is called? The top of the cabinet. It's an ornamental piece. And I'm just going to put glue. I'm going to make sure not to put glue behind this top section because it's not actually touching the paper behind it, and I don't want it to be bent backwards. So we're going to concentrate our glue on the lower half of this. Okay, so just on, oh, actually, just let me double check. Even the side, yeah, these end pieces are not attached. Okay, so I'm just going to check how far out it goes. So I'm just going to go to the end of the bottom, this end here. Okay, not to the tips. So just here, and here, and then in between. And try not to get glue too much over the, you see there's like slits cut in the die cut. You don't want your glue oozing out between there, so just try to avoid too much glue on those sections. I think I'm good. Oh, and I'll put a little bit more here. A couple of dots. Okay. Cornice. Oh, is that what it is called? Thank you. I had no idea what the name was. I don't know if I've ever heard that word before. Okay, so I'm just lining up the edge of these pieces here on the side. And with glue, you have a couple of seconds to kind of nudge things around to look good. And I think that's good, as long as it's not sticking up over the edge of your top of your card, right? Because then it'll get bent and crushed. Can't tell if this is straight. I think it looks straight. This side looks a little farther up. All right. think that's good. All right. You know what? Maybe we have a couple minutes just to add that handle. Let me take all these backings away. All right, so we will add a little handle, and I am tempted to do it in early Expresso because I think it'll complement the sentiment nicely, or Petal Pink, just to keep in line with the color scheme. I don't want it to stand out too much because I don't want it to draw the eye to it. Let's try early Expresso. Okay, there's the definition. A cornice is generally used to describe a horizontal decorative molding that crowns the building or furniture. Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so let's get a little bit of early Expresso here. I'm gonna need like a skinny piece. And let's grab the dies. Here we go. The little ones here. That looks so big. Look at this. It's like, it looks really big on that. Let's see if we can do something with it. Maybe we'll curve it a little bit to make it a little bit shorter. Okay. Oh, and it moved. There. Okay, let's run that through. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder to just curve it slightly so that hopefully it won't be so long, and see if this fits. Grab my tweezers. It seems rather big for this tiny little cupboard. Like it literally goes side to side, even when it's bent. I feel like it's too long. I want it to be shorter. Okay, let's show you another trick. We're going to try shorten that. That is a very small die, so this is going to be more difficult. But you can shorten the length of certain die cuts. I'm not sure if we can do it because it's such a small die. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it partially through, and then I'm going to turn it around and pull it back. Oh, Tara's suggesting an embellishment instead of a handle pull. That's true. There's so many. I don't know what size knob that would be. Okay, well, let's try this. We'll see how it turns out. Reality crafting. Okay, so I'm going to push it part way through and we'll see. Oh, it's slightly off. That's fine. Actually, oh, let's see. Okay, let's put it through like that. And you can feel when it starts to go under because it gets a little bit tighter, right? So I'm just going to put it through part way. I'm going to turn this around. So you can see how it's cut part way here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the top and bottom edges, And it naturally wants to fit in to the side there, but I'm going to pull it over so that I don't fit into that groove. So what I'm going to do is basically, if you can see, I'll show you up here. So you see how it's die cut just part way. I'm going to pull the die over so that it cuts this section like this, right? So that, and I'm going to have to be careful not to push it all the way through so that I can cut a shorter piece, okay? Sandra has another suggestion. It's a small piece. I don't know that there's enough room to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna position it here, and I'm just feeling to make sure that the top and the bottom feel like they're in the groove from the previous cut. And once again, I am going to just push it through part way, and it's a bit of a guessing game because you don't know how far with this piece because it's so short. Okay, so I can feel that it's providing resistance right now, and I'm just going to go half a pull maybe, or a quarter of a handle pull, and come back out. Let's see. Oh look, it worked. I think it worked. Yeah, see, I got some shorter pulls now. Yes, it'll be all die cut for you. But now you get to see how it's made, because maybe you'll want to make some of your own. Alright, so we've got some shorter pulls now. Let's see if that fits better. Yeah, I think that looks better, eh? That's a better size. And you can choose to curve it or not. That's up to you. I think I'll give it a tiny curve, not much. Just use my finger. And I will just glue down the ends. Yeah. Alright, so let's just put tiny dots of glue on the ends of this pole. And we'll glue that on. Oops. Oh, I think that looks so much better. Perfect. All right. So that's the card this week. Not too hard, just a lot of die cutting and stamping and assembly, but really not that bad. So that's the last card in this series, and I hope you enjoyed it and got inspired. Play with it. You can use different color palettes and different choices to fill in your cabinetry, your shelving, and like I said, the frame comes from the Country Woods DSP, and lots of great wood grain texture in there. So have fun with that and have a great week. I will see you next week with the Rolling Waves bundle. Have a great week. Bye.